It has proved to be a target too great for Kilkenny, as it was for Kerry back in 1982. Brian Cody, magnificent manager that he is, he has lost an All-Ireland final here in what was his 10th time to take a team to the final on the first Sunday in September. But it is the Tipperary fans and team and mentors who deserve to celebrate for a long, long time. Very few people rated their chances. It was all about the drive for 5, but they've been foiled, and Owen Kelly has led the Premier men from Tipperary to win the Liam McCarthy Cup and take the title for the 26th time.
Yeah, Jaron, I have to say, Owen Kelly you just mentioned, I'm absolutely thrilled for him. An outstanding Tipperary captain, a lovely guy, and you know, Tipperary, Liam Sheedy as well, you know, a lovely sound management team, and Owen Kelly has been there since 2001 trying to get back and win this All-Ireland, and a brilliant display by Tipperary. I said before the game, can 521s, you know, is it too many on the team? And that youth now with 5 more in the subs, like Tipperary are going to be looking forward to, you know, great years ahead of them now. And Liam Sheedy, if it shows you how fine the line sport is, if he lost today, would he be there? There's Brian Cody. And what about Kilkenny? You know, the outstanding team of all time, in my opinion, won't change after today. But they had to be beaten sometime, and it's great they were beaten in such a great game after such a great performance. And there's Henry Shefton, you know, facing maybe surgery again now on that knee. But what a final, what a performance, 4-17, and just you have to take your hat off to Tipperary, worthy champions. And it took them 3 hard years to get there and get that win today, and well done to them.
Yeah, they've had some fantastic matches with Kilkenny in recent years. I remember 2 great games last year, the All-Ireland final, the league final, but now this trophy, which was presented out on the field in 2001 to Tommy Dunn when Tipper lost the victors, now it's going to be presented in the Hogan stand. The fans are staying in their places. This is what everybody has hoped for. It's a Tipperary victory. Some tremendous hurling in today's match as we go down to Marty Morrissey.
Dedication. Liam Sheedy joins the side. Thank you very much for your words. This moment in time, your thoughts on winning the 26th All-Ireland.
I'm just so proud of this bunch. In all they've given me for the past 3 years in terms of the effort, the commitment and the honesty. We were gutted here last year, and you know, we said we'd be back. And maybe somewhere along the journey people doubted us. I never doubted this group, and thankfully today they get a just reward.
Thank you, Liam Sheedy. Let's go up to the steps of the Hogan stand to up the lawn coming across Gael, Christy Cooney, who present the Liam McCarthy Cup to the winning All-Ireland captain of 2010, Owen Kelly.
What a day to be Kilkenny or Tipperary fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Commonwealth Cascade, could I happily congratulate...
On a great day for Tipperary, Christy Cooney, the GA president, hands over the cup to Owen Kelly. The Premier County are the top county in hurling for 2010. What a day to be a Tipperary hurling fan. A ticker tape reception. Well, this is what we wanted to see, an opportunity to properly celebrate the captain receiving the cup. People staying in their places, enjoying the moment, savouring the occasion. And Owen Kelly from the South Division of Tipperary, the first man from that division to take the cup. Brian Cody and the others, Jackie Tyrrell, bitterly disappointed. It wasn't to be. The most brilliant team I've seen in hurling, beaten this afternoon, but beaten by Tip.
Adile Usta, August Luke Dimaneka, Tan Osarman Crenshaw, Erdu son Fern, August Winter, Tipperary. It's a great honour for me as a Tipperary man to accept the Liam McCarthy Cup on behalf of a massive, excellent Tipperary squad and the people of Tipperary. A long journey that probably started not this year, but I go back as far as 2008 when this squad got together. I'd like to think that we created our own identity. Our characters and our personalities came true, not only today, but in the last 3 years. To this, I'd like to say a special thanks to our coach and our selector, the most professional man I'd say any team could have, coming all the way from Galway in the last 3 years, Kieran McDonough's man, Eamon O'Shea. This Tipperary squad was made up of massive honesty the last 3 years. The next selector I'd like to thank played as honest as any Tipperary hurler in the past. Anytime we spoke to the team, it was pure honest, and his style of play has really rubbed off on us. I'd like to thank, from Upper Church, Michael Ryan. All those things I've already mentioned: professionalism, honesty, organisation. The next man, what can any of us say, guys? He came in when the ship was sinking, but by God is this ship sailing today, all the way from Portroe, our Messiah, our leader, Liam Sheedy. I'm not here today without paying compliments to definitely one of the best teams, not only in hurling, but in any sport that we have seen in this generation. The Kilkenny team, your humble guys on the field, your humble guys off the field. What you have achieved the last 4 years to your management, your county board, and above all to yourselves is exceptional. And with that, I'd like to wish you 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. We're looking forward to the party in Turner's tomorrow night.
Owen Kelly lifting the cup at the end of a memorable speech. I think he covered everybody and anybody in Croke Park. It's Tipperary's day. They are the champions. And the final score: Tipperary 4 goals and 17 points. Kilkenny 1 goal and 18. We have new champions, Michael.
We have indeed, and our thanks, of course, to Ger Canning and Michael Dignan in the commentary box. Cyril Farrell, Tomas Mulcahy and Ger Loughnane here in our studio. Obviously, wanting to quickly add their congratulations to Tipperary. They had to play better, Ger, than they did last year, and by God, they sure did.
They sure did, Michael. And I was arguing yesterday in the start when I was going for Tipperary. I argued the fact that people are saying that Kilkenny are better, Tip are not as good. But what Tip are this year, following the defeat in Cork, which rid them of any notions of grandeur, what they are since is a really genuine team. And you put your finger out there, you say, you can have all the plans and all the tactics you like, but you cannot beat heart, where you absolutely tear into it as hard as you can. Every man fights for every ball. Sometimes things will go wrong, but you will get the breaks. Today they got the breaks. They fought manfully in the tradition of the great Tipperary teams of the past. So did Kilkenny. They didn't give up without a fight. Yeah. But on the day, Tip were the better team, fought harder. They had the conviction. They are the only team in Ireland that had the conviction they could beat. They believed they could beat Kilkenny, and that was such a massive factor in today's event.
It required a huge test of character in the second half for them, Tomas, because having done so much hard work in the first half, they were only a point up, and it looked like the tide was turning.
Yeah, but they didn't panic, you know, and even in the second half period as well, when Kilkenny were coming at him in ways, Michael. I mean, John mentioned about raw courage and having a bit of a bit of bottle and stuff like that. I mean, the defence in the second half, there was ball after ball rained down on top of them, but they put their bodies on the line, they put their foot on it, they put their hurls in there. And like when Conor O'Mahony went off, up stepped Padraig Maher into number 6 position, and he led the troops unbelievably so, you know. And I mean, you mentioned about breaks, and you get the breaks on days, and they have this ability to get goals, you know.
And the other thing they did, Cyril Farrell, was, as they showed, for example, against Galway when it was tight at the end, they got the scores at the finish.
Yeah, and their subs played very well too, like Seamus Hannigan got 2 points. I was delighted for Benny Dunn, because last year he was the fall guy, came on, got a great point. And this young Hennessy guy, I'm talking about him all year, I've seen him a lot in UCG, and he's a great hurler too, but like, it was the scores they got, and as Ger says, it was the conviction. They played with great passion. It's hard to believe that in the second half they scored 3-7, like, which is a big score in any half, like, you know. And like, there's new beating Tipperary or beating Kilkenny by 8 points is unbelievable, but like, you can't go without mentioning a great Kilkenny team as well. They've given us great days. They will be back.
They will, of course, but there'll be some, as Owen Kelly said, there'll be some cracking thirds tomorrow evening. We're going to take a short break. Tipperary are worthy All-Ireland hurling champions for 2010, and that landmark 5 in a row remains as elusive as ever. This afternoon it finished Tipperary 4 goals and 17 points, Kilkenny 1 goal and 18. And the other remarkable thing I think that's happened at Croke Park here today, there actually was no pitch invasion.